Well, congratulations for a good set of numbers to the entire Wipro team. Thierry, my question to you is, you have given a very strong guidance for Q1, and also we are seeing a fairly good amount of margin resilience there. So what exactly is leading to such a strong guidance for overall in terms of the revenue growth, overall in terms of the demand environment, and what really has led to a good margin resilience?
So Poonam, it's a good question. I would say a couple of things. One, there's no question that there is a good market. There is a market where there's a lot of demand. We can see across industries in all markets real demand for digital transformation, for cloud services programs, for engineering transformation, and so on. So that's one thing, is the market. Second is, we have seen a significant evolution of our pipeline and very strong performance in sales in order book over the last 6 months. Frankly, every single of the last 6 months has been strong in sales. And so we've seen, we've closed the second half of our fiscal year 21 with the highest ever performance with 7.1 billion of TCV. And that obviously lead with a nice wind in the back, if you like, to start the new year, fiscal year 22. Third is the fact that we've been in connection with our clients, and I'm connected with them constantly, and the feedback are very promising and positive in terms of their level of confidence in us, their trust in us, but also the expectation they have from us to continue to support and help them transform their organization. And so all of that is leading a different level of confidence in the organization. From a supply demand now, we've had 2 quarters in a row very significant in terms of net addition of number of employees. We've grown significantly, and the demand continues to be strong. So that leads to just a level of confidence for Q1 that support the guidance we've shared with you, Poonam. In terms of profitability, sorry, you asked about profitability as well. Well, we are very clear on the fact that we have an obsessive focus on growth, but also profitable growth. There are no such thing as you focus on growth one year and one day you will focus on profitability. We have made significant actions in the system over the last 6 months to simplify our organization, to be less internal centered, more client focused, have less layer of leadership, have more people market focused, and so on. And a lot of the savings generated by the simplification of the model has been reinjected in the organization to help us, bring top talent, continue to acquire expertise and talent around our key offerings, and so on. And so I think we've managed a good balance in terms of growth and attention to profitability. Our P&L is healthy, and from that standpoint, we feel, considering the fact that, at some point in time, we will go back to a post-pandemic time, I think we are confident we can sustain the level of margin where we've been guiding, or let's say we've been guiding you over the last 6 months.
Okay. Thierry, one more question. How do you see the entire Capco acquisition, which is a significant acquisition for Wipro? Would we see more such large acquisitions as an overall strategy? And what would the Capco acquisition mean in terms of the revenue, profitability, and also in terms of the presence in the BFSI space?
Capco is an unquestionable, very well-known brand and organization in the BFSI sector. We have a significant BFSI organization. When we look at their offerings and the talent they have, it's incredibly complementing our set of offerings and solutions and capabilities as well. They also bring, new set of clients. And I think, the combination of the two organizations will be, reinforce our ability to go after larger, more transformational type of deals, right? From a digital transformation to consulting to technology from an advisory standpoint, and then from an execution standpoint, all the way down to running operations. And I think we are coming with a very powerful combination of offerings and talent for this sector. The level of growth of Capco, obviously the impact of Capco on our growth will depend on when we are closing the deal, right? And so we will see. We will communicate when it's time. For now, we are tracking against the objective to close the deal before the end of the month of June, and things are on track. So we're confident we will indeed confirm the deal before the end of the quarter. In terms of profitability, what we've always said is that, versus the margin levels that we've announced as being, ranges where we are comfortable to deliver consistently, the Capco would impact about 2.2% of the margin. And so, from that standpoint, our view hasn't changed.
If we are looking at, and this question is either to Jatin or Saurabh, it's a combined question in terms of the hiring plans and the overall environment. So how do you see the attrition level is certainly rising, and Wipro, of course, has announced good amount of increments, and there is a possibility of bonus as well. How do you see to manage the supply side issues here, as the demand seems to be fairly good? And also, how much of the new leadership hiring could in fact impact the margins along with some amount of rise in the cost? So, Jatin, in terms of the margins, can we see that for FY22 we can see margins around, say, 19% And Saurabh, how would you be managing the entire employee attrition and hiring?
Saurabh, you go ahead. I will come back for the margins.
Okay. So Poonam, again, as the demand theory called out, the demand environment is strong, and to meet that demand environment, there is a heightened, need for people, and war for talent is there, and we are doing what it takes to make sure that people supply chain doesn't impact our growth at all. So these are investments we are making. We've done a significant number of investments as we end this last fiscal. Over the last 3 quarters, each and every employee in the company was given 100% variable pay. We had a salary increase for people in the month of January. We had a promotion for a group of people in December. We are going as senior colleagues in June. We have skill-based bonus. So there are a number of interventions we are doing across the organization over a period of time, and we believe with the quality of work, with the environment in which we provide them, and with competitive competition, you will be able to retain, grow our people. That's the way of looking at it. On the hiring front, very clearly, very robust hiring, both laterally and from campuses, both in India and globally, for the right skill sets laterally and for building a base in the organization from campuses. So that will continue. We have ended Q4 with a very high hiring numbers. Gross hiring was very high. We also onboarded 3,000 odd freshers into the organization in Q4, and you will see the trends coming as we move there. On the last point you had raised about leadership coming and impacting margins, not the case at all. The leadership is there. It's a huge investment. It's about, they are the growth drivers for us. They are the people who will, make sure we look at our front end very differently. They are the ones who have deep connects with the clients, with our partners, and they'll enable growth. So that's a big plus for us, not a dilution at all. So that's where I will end, and I'll hand over to Jatin to speak on the margins.
Yeah, thanks, Saurabh.
That's excellent.
So, thanks, Saurabh. So, Poonam, from margin standpoint, we must recognize that these are 2 different years, and I think our priority clearly, all the things that we are doing, which Thierry mentioned, Saurabh mentioned, in terms of preparing the organization to benefit from the growth that you see in the environment, investments that will help us differentiate in front of our customer are our priorities. So definitely the investment will go in, and that will reflect in terms of operating margin for Q1. And the second factor would be that as we integrate Capco financially, there will be a dilution in margins for the first year and later years too, but certainly it will impact our margins by about 2% in the first year. So those are the factors I would request you to keep in mind as you consider our margin outlook for FY 22.
Okay, that was my last question. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and wish you the entire Wipro team all the best. It's been a wonderful year, and looking forward to wonderful more good years coming in and more interactions. Thank you.